Hello there. Today's message for your spiritual growth is about your spiritual path. So if you want to know more about that, then I'm going to leave some a little meditation at the end to help you to get yourself into what we call the spiritual journey. So let's look at what the spiritual path is all about. So before you came to this earth, you and your soul, which is one, by the way, decided on the path that you should take for this life. Some of it is going to have sacrifices, some of it's going to be learning, some of it's going to be evolving, some of it's going to be connection, and some of it is that you are already able to tap into the wisdom once you tap into your soul. So many people say to me, well, how do I know I'm on my spiritual path? So what they've said to me today and starting to show me is that your spiritual path is what you work from the heart. Now, I know a lot of people say to me, yeah, but Steve, working from the heart. Whenever I started doing mediumship, I used to say to them, how do I know that the information I'm giving out is correct? Sometimes it's trust, sometimes it's belief, sometimes you just know that it will be right what you get. But one of the little secret nuggets that they gave me, which absolutely changed my world, was working with the heart. They always say the best mediums work with the heart, and that's why they're most humble, because they've not let the ego in that then shows them illusions and thoughts that they should be, instead of the true peace of the heart, which shows you what your spiritual path is. So you can use this in many different ways, and this is the magic of it. So, for example, you wanted to have a relationship. Yeah, just imagine yourself sitting in your heart and just ask, I've just done it this morning, and I said, can you show me what my soulmates are? And they showed me two images. One was a ginger-haired lady that looked lovely and lovely energy, and one was an Asian lady, and she also had beautiful energy. And so then I asked the further question on this: how can I tell which one's my soulmates? And then they showed me that many soulmates come forward when we are not feeling loved and supported, when we're separated, or when we're thinking, which is the illusion, that we need a relationship or we want to share on our journey. We then start searching, and then that's often the case. We attract people to show us that if we don't love ourselves or we're not connected, then what we attract is people who don't feel loved and are not connected. It's also then that we're more wanting to help people that don't feel connected or going through bad lives, in the hope that they will help us. But it doesn't work like that, because they still have their journey and they still have their learning. Okay, so then I asked which one of the two would help me on my spiritual journey. And then they showed me the one that did. And so I thanked them. Now I also said, what in this moment do I need to do? And then they showed me a vision of what's to come, of sharing this insights and different insights with a group of people. So hopefully when lockdown is gone, we will be able to get a lot more people together to share in the energy and expand the energy, so that they can realize that in this moment, just being in this moment is the key. So back to the spiritual path, using your heart. So now there is some times when your spiritual path is not going to be of the heart. And the reason for this is that if your body needs negativity at the moment to balance, then sometimes we are sent down roads that are not always our spiritual path, but will lead to our spiritual path. And this is what you're going to understand. Once you realize that everything is relative to the journey, then we don't stop doing a lot of things, which is what happened to me. I went on a 10-year journey, and basically I stopped doing things that I loved and that I enjoyed, because I thought I needed to get this connection. I needed to get one with nature. I need to learn and so understand all my issues that I had created and why I was having the life I was. And a lot of the cases I realized as an empath, I was actually absorbing other people's energies, absorbing other people's problems and ideas, and then taking them on board because they resonated with myself. So when you work with the mind, you will find that you are attracted to more that doesn't resonate with your connection, with your support system. And that's why I just produced my first one that you could be looking at, searching for love. I just produced that the understanding that when we create a safe place, when we create a loving place, and when we create a secure place for ourselves and others, all of a sudden more people want to be part of that energy. So your spiritual path is the path that you've chosen to experience, to let go of traumas and negativity. But your spiritual path is more of what brings you peace to your life. So it's only free will and choice that changes that. And we'll always have that path. So we'll always have these things to experience. And so our soul will bring forward those people that will give us the most learning and the messages on the way. So when we get into the spiritual path and work from the heart, we suddenly, even in people that we would not necessarily say were spiritual or connected or in any way, will still give us a message. Why? Because we're radiating the unconditional love around us, that when people come into our aura, we're not having our own problems and issues being reflected by them. We're meeting them on a soul-to-soul level. Sometimes when we meet people, they might resist us or they might reject us. That's because they cannot handle the energy that we're giving out. But eventually that energy will become reciprocated. So do not worry about those that just not quite get on with you straight away. It's just that they are trying to resonate with your energy. And sometimes your energy makes them look at problems and issues that it takes them out of control, and so they don't want to do that. But eventually your love and your energy and your no want or need of sharing this, but just being, this is the secret to it all. The attachments is what stops us from being. And when you realize this and just, then you do not worry about what people say or do, because that's not part of your energy. That's part of their energy. And so you don't need to take on board their fears and doubts and worries. And as an empath, you need to understand that they have their journey, you have your journey. And then magic moments, you will join together and share in the experience. And that is what it's all about. So stop looking at all these things that you have to improve or the people that will make your life. Every single person has the opportunity to give you a message, to help you to evolve, to help you share in a magical experience. When you focus on life in that way, you'll suddenly realize that you're more on your spiritual journey, because really you never left your spiritual journey. It's only in the separation that we feel lost and lonely, and we look to our past, to what we enjoyed, or to try and give us a boost, or we look to what we might do for the future, when really just being is the key. Just being in this energy, just being who you are, just loving life, just being in love with love, and then that ignites the unconditional love, and you love all things then. And even that, because remember this, people say to me, yeah, but I attract nasty people, blah, blah, blah. Your vibration creates your reality, okay? If you're in being love, there's no way you can attract evil. Evil cannot reside in places of love. Remember that. Negativity can only be there to balance the body. If the body is already balanced, if your energy is always right, then how can you attract that? It's only if you have a lesson or a trauma that you're holding on to, or you've gone with your mind and the illusion, and so you've let the ego in. The ego is a warrior. He wants to make you right, but it has no compassion, no emotions attached to that. It then becomes self-centered because it knows that it needs to be to let go of this overload of negativity that's causing major problems on the body. It hasn't got time to be compassionate and open the senses and the chakras and everything. It needs to get things sorted because, like the heart, is why it sends messages to the brain. It's worried that it's not going to live. But when you come from a spiritual path base, your energy is everlasting. So you never die, really, only the body. And so when you join the mind, the body, and the soul together, which is my meditation, you will find that you no longer, the body is worried, the mind is worried, because then it sees the connections to all. Then it sees the connections of where you come from and where you're going to. So yes, so if you want to be on your spiritual path, just follow your heart. And you know, another one of my meditations is to actually put somebody in your heart. And if it doesn't feel right in your heart, they're not going to bring you peace. Now, it is exciting to have certain people that ignite you and for that moment, but it's the ones that hold your hand are the ones that make the difference in your life. The ones that really care for you and want to love you and want to share in an experience. You know, not the ones that reject you, not the ones that make you feel like you're a kid again that's not being loved or supported. You know? So, I hope this helps you on your spiritual path. Each day, I'm going to try and channel some information through. And throughout today, I will be getting more connections, more understandings of my spiritual path. But just remember, each person has their own spiritual path. And it's what you need to realize. Nobody else is going to make your spiritual path but you. But there will be people like soulmates who may not be for this life, but they will still ignite you to the connection and the understanding that unconditional love and you were loved solely at one time. And it's a magical feeling. And thank them. And just know that stepping stones will lead you to a better you, to understanding your spiritual path and being one with yourself.